Good morning, friends and family of Cartoon Universe. My name is Deepcut, and we have a bit of a treat for you today. Some of you may remember the Steven Universe fan-made openings that I put out on this channel, but today it looks like we might have some legitimate Steven Universe opening leaks to share with you. While I wouldn't call any of these spoilery in any way, those who want to be surprised are advised to click away from the video now. In the recent behind-the-scenes video for the Steven Universe movie, there's a storyboard shot that closely mirrors the traditional teleportation shots that we've seen in both of the previous openings. What is interesting about these shots is that they only include Steven, Bismuth, Lapis, and Peridot. The main crystal gems, Amethyst, Pearl, Garnet, they're nowhere to be seen. Because of this, there's some speculation going around that the main crystal gems are taking a back seat in the upcoming new season. Some people believe that the OG crystal gems will be retired and the show will focus entirely on Steven's relationship with the new crystal gems. Some even theorize that one of them may be shattered in the movie, and that's what causes the group to split apart. Personally, I think the truth is much more simple than that. The Steven Universe openings, particularly the part we actually see in the episodes, not the extended versions that we see online, are really short. There isn't a lot of time to fit all the characters in. I think the new opening will show Steven running through the neighborhood for corrupted gems before teleporting on the warp pad with the new crystal gems to arrive at the beach with the OG crystal gems for the traditional beach barbecue we see in the openings. It will then end with the typical Garnet, Amethyst, and Pearl, and Steven parts of the song. This would be a more simple way to make sure that all of the characters get some dedicated screen time, so that the new crystal gems don't feel like an afterthought being just tacked into backgrounds and shots. There's also some speculation that this isn't from an opening at all. The shot looks very dynamic, and the way the characters are posed gives it the feeling that they are trying to express as much personality as they can do in the shot, something typical for the openings. But because it's behind the scenes for the movie, there's some people who think that this is actually just a shot from the movie itself, not for any opening theme. However, if this interview was recorded after the fact, they might have had him working on something from the upcoming new season. Regardless of whether it's in a movie, a new season, or a new opening, I'm excited to see where it goes. Now before you go, there's something else I'd like to talk about today as well. In my last video, I was talking about the Steven Universe movie trailer and noted that it appears we have two aquamarines in this scene right here. And you guys disagreed. A lot. Yikes. So I looked into it, and I think you're wrong. I don't think that these are the Heaven and Earth beetles, and I think it's very clear that they are aquamarines or something similar to them. With all of them lined up, I think you can see some very clear differences. For instance, the bows. The new gems have very small, simple bows similar to an aquamarine's, whereas the Heaven and Earth beetle have wide and wavy bows. The next very obvious difference is that the Heaven and Earth beetles have these weird frilly things around their necks that you don't see on these new gems. Then there's the color schemes. The beetles' shirts and skirts are the exact same colors in the exact same shades, whereas these new gems, as well as aquamarines, have different shades for their shirts and for their skirts. While we haven't seen the beetles from behind, the back of these new gems' heads looks very similar to the back of aquamarine, because there's a very sudden cut with the hair. One thing I will say that throws me off about this, however, is the new gem sleeves. While it doesn't match the Heaven or Earth beetles, it doesn't exactly match aquamarines either. The lines are in the right place, but their arms should really be the same color as their skin, with them wearing gloves. It is possible that they just have their own unique outfits, especially since they aren't the same color as the aquamarines that we have seen, which are all blue, but it does make me question if they are 100% aquamarines. If it was just one or two of these issues, I would write it off as our beetles retaining some aspects of their corruption, as we have seen with the other gems. But I think when you put them side by side, it becomes very obvious that these gems are aquamarines and not Heaven and Earth beetles. As for the color, aquamarines technically come in only blue and green, but aquamarines are just a subtype of beryl, and beryl comes in all sorts of colors, including yellow, like the one on the left. I imagine that these are beryls who have very similar designs to aquamarine, but wouldn't have the same powers or even the wings. Something that seems to contradict this, however, is that emeralds are technically beryls, and the emerald that we have seen looks nothing like an aquamarine. So there is that. That being said, I still can't say that these are Heaven and Earth beetles, it just doesn't make sense. Well, that's all I have for you guys today. I hope you liked the video. Be sure to subscribe, follow us on Twitter, Patreonize us, get in our Discords, and I'll see you next week.